Hi guys, it's Danny. Today I will give you a little bit of an update on the Catasetum Orchids. And I have one that is producing a flower spike. Do you even see? I'm sorry. There we go. We have a flower spike. And I'm so happy because I have not seen a Catasetum type flower in ages, in years. I did not do good with my Catasetums, and I'm gonna tell you why in this video. Before we start though, don't forget to give this video a like if you end up enjoying it, if it's entertaining or anything, because it really helps it out. And why not subscribe? I post multiple times a week and it's completely free. But if you're feeling a little extra, do consider further supporting the channel by becoming a member, checking out the affiliate links down below, checking out the merch, or using the super thanks option down below my videos. I shouldn't throw stuff on the ground because I will have to pick them up later. Anyway, so Catasetum types. There was a time in history when I used to do very well with them, very well indeed. But then I moved countries and everything changed. I have a lot of issues with pests with Catasetum type orchids. And the thrip infestation that I used to have wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all. Recently, I got rid of thrips. But are my Catasetums doing better? Well, if you look at this guy, you will say, oh yeah, it has grown amazing. It's gonna bloom, it's wonderful, you did great. This is a new orchid. I purchased it a few months ago. I'm not responsible for its growth. It's the wonderful variegated Cycnotus Wine Delight. Oh my goodness, the flowers are amazing on this orchid. They smell amazing. I'm so excited to see the flowers. As you can see, it looks great. Don't mind the, let's say, yellowing of the leaves and such. This orchid is actually deciduous. It will lose its leaves once a year, and it's approaching that moment. This is an orchid I purchased recently. I didn't even repot because it was in the middle of its growing season. And if I would have repotted and damaged the roots, I would have set it back. So it's gonna wait for the spring. And this one looks okay, but it didn't really have time to acquire pests. I kind of just wanted to show it to you because it has this flower spike and I am incredibly excited. I have not seen a flower spike on a Catasetum for ages, as I was saying, so I'm very excited. Also, the flowers will not be variegated. They're supposed to look like the normal Catasetum or Cycnotus Wine Delight, the one that I used to have, but I'm expecting that lovely pharmaceutical fragrance to fill my girl space. It's a wonderful fragrance. Pharmaceutical? Yes, pharmaceutical, but in a good way. It smells like a pharmacy that has a lot of fruit-flavored vitamins. Am I making any sense? I don't know if everybody has these types of pharmacies, but yeah, in Romania, the pharmacies always smell well. I don't know why. And the plants in the pharmacies are always thriving. Did you guys notice? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the light, maybe because they have so many windows, but I remember in my childhood, we had a pharmacy right across the street. The wonderful plants it had. It had Hoyas. It was the first time I saw, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but like, remembering things. The first, I think it was bromeliad. First bromeliad I've ever seen in my life was the one that makes that wonderful pink flower. Saw it in a pharmacy. It was beautiful. They actually gave me a pup. I tried to grow it. It died. I don't know why. In that pharmacy and in all the pharmacies that I remember growing up, all the plants were doing great. And I think it was because they had those very tall windows. In Romania, pharmacies had, or the ones that like I saw as a child, they had tall windows, they had a lot of light coming through, and probably the people there were taking care of the plants. They were watering and all of that. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but pharmacies had wonderful plants. Why was I talking? Oh, because this guy smells like one of those pharmacies. It's a smell that taps into my childhood. It's a fond memory. I was very friendly with the pharmacists across the street, and I was sometimes going there just to see the plants, not to buy anything, you know. And sometimes they would give me like a bonbon with vitamin C or something. They were very nice ladies, and I was admiring their flowers, and this kind of smells like that. So that's why I love it. What a tangent. I can blab. You guys know me, so I don't feel guilty. Let's look at the Catasetums that I have for a few years and see how they look like, because they don't look like this. One more tangent. There used to be, like in the 90s, there used to be a candy. It was orange, it had vitamin C, and it was orange flavored. My favorite. I I cannot find something similar to that. The taste of childhood, oh my goodness. It was so good, but I don't even know who manufactured it. Could have been Romanian actually, because we do actually have some laboratories that make medicine. What a tangent. Right, these are my Catasetum types. They do not look like the other one, yes, because they have been set back. For many, many years, I've had issues with pests, munching on the leaves, not letting them develop, and the more you have pests on the leaves spoiling the new growth, the more your orchid will be set back, because this new growth is essential for Catasetum orchids. This is how they acquire energy and they pretty much grow. If the growth season is spoiled, we will have setback. Yes, if those 3-4 months that it takes for a pseudobulb to mature, if in that period you have issues, you're gonna have setback and there's nothing you can do about it, as I've discovered. So this year I treated all of my orchids for thrips because those were the main culprits, and this is the result. It's encouraging, okay? It's better, we're getting better. Problem is, the insecticide doesn't work on spider mites, because spider mites are mites. They're not insects, they're in the spider category. So what we see here is, looks worse on the back. So it's a little bit of a spider mite damage. Yeah, from time to time, spider mites come from the window as well. Now, let's address a little bit where these pests are coming from, because I do get comments. They can come from newly acquired orchids, yes, or plants, but in my instance, they're coming from outside. I have a garden, it's not my garden, but there is a garden around me. It has trees, it has plants, it also has pests, and I experienced something that I was like, oh, I have to talk about this in a video. So I went outside, not even in the garden, it was just like on the street, and when I came back, I was wearing a lip balm, by the way. I had a thrip stuck to my lip, in the lip balm. I looked in the mirror, I saw like, oh, what is this black thing? I looked at it, it was a thrip. Just because I went outside and the thrip was probably flying, minding her own business, and all of a sudden it got stuck to my lip because of the lip balm. And I was like, well, why am I surprised? I have thrips and all of these pests. Yes, they come through the windows, through the mosquito nets, through the meshes. There's no point in trying to like put stoppers or other types of nets because I care more about ventilation. At this point, I learned how to take care of the thrip situation. I actually kinda didn't pay attention to this. I saw it when it was already too late. It wasn't the red, the false spider mite. It was, I think it's called the two-spotted spider mite. You know, the typical one that makes a little bit of a web. So what I did, and I'm gonna do it again, was just shower a little bit the orchids, and that was that. That's what you do with the normal spider mite. It's not that bad. So if you shower the plants a few times, you can keep the population under control. I will do that. I kind of neglected them a little bit because they didn't feel so good. But yeah, it's not a whole lot. Like compared to all of the problems that I had in the previous years, it's not that much. And it's kind of only on this one. These guys don't have so much damage. They have bird poof or puff on them or dander from them, but they don't really have pests. This one actually looks good. This one actually has a pretty nice pseudobulb. So yeah, things are looking bright, much brighter than in previous years. And yes, I know there will be setback. I will deal with the setback. It's fine. It's okay. I'm happy these orchids are still alive. They're actually pretty old in my collection of 5, 6, 7 years at this point. Oh, even more actually, even more. The Millennium Magic, it's even older. So yeah, I was ashamed to lose them, and even though, you know, they're very set back and I didn't pay attention to the spider mite problem, it's okay, it's fine. Like, they look so much better than how they used to look like, and I'm happy about that. So things worked, but as you can see, and if you remember, inside the potting mix, I actually did put one of those insecticidal sticks from Celaflor, and maybe that had an effect on thrips, even though these were sprayed as well. But as you can see, they had no effect on the spider mite. Again, because it's a mite, it's different. So for mites, I will stick, if I have a serious case, I will stick to my oily solutions. Those work great. They work mechanically. They cannot develop resistance to it, so that's good. And spider mite infestations, as much as I feared them in the past, now they're like, I have seen worse. You cannot do any damage to me. You practically just need to stay on top. It's not more than that. When it comes to thrips, things are more complicated, but I'm happy to announce that the thrip situation is very well under control. I might actually have to do the treatment once a year, which actually I would prefer, because I don't want them to become resistant to spinosad. They can develop resistance, and the less treatments I do per year, the better. I think 2 treatments is still good, but if I can get away with 1 in the spring, I will do that. We'll see. Here and there, I did still see a thrip, but it was nothing compared to what I used to have. So I'll see how I feel about it. If I feel powerful enough to do another spray, I will. If not, in the springtime, or I'll just do small treatments here and there where I see something. But for spider mites, I'm just gonna go with my leaf shine and everything will be okay. So that is about it on my catasetums. Things are looking okay, except for the spider mite situation, which is nothing. I mean, these are still functional leaves. They're gonna drop anyway because the pseudobulb is mature. It's fine. I'm gonna pay more attention next year. And yeah, that is about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will return with the catasetums when that one blooms. Fingers crossed we don't lose the flowers, because I really, really, really like the flowers on the Wine Delight. It was my first ever catasetum many years ago, 8, 9 years ago, something like that. Many years ago. I really enjoy it, really like it, and it taps into one of my childhood memories. So yeah, I absolutely recommend it. Funny thing, in Romania, I didn't have so many issues with pests as I have here. So it has to do with your location as well. Some of you will have no issue probably with pests, with these guys. Some of you probably will. I hope you don't. But if you do, yeah, I know. They're pest magnets. They can be. Other than that, though, they're really easy to take care of. And I do have a video about them and their care. Check it down below. It's old. Excuse the cringe. But back then I used to have a lot of success with them. Now not so much, but it's a good tutorial. So check it down below. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. Bye.